So this morning it's brought to my attention, I'm about 3 or 4 days behind the headline here, but it was brought to my attention that we know that Bill Pulte had named Letitia James, Lisa Cook, Adam Schiff as having committed mortgage fraud because of occupancy misrepresentation. Well, it doesn't take long to do a little property searching and find out that here we are, close relatives of the federal official who has accused a Federal Reserve governor of improperly claiming primary residence on two properties, have declared the same status on two homes in two different states, public records show. All right, so Mark and Julie Pulte, the father and stepmother of Bill Pulte, have claimed so-called homestead exemptions for residences on wealthy neighborhoods in Michigan and Florida. So here we go. We're dealing with occupancy fraud, which occupancy misrepresentation, which the public just does not take as seriously as we do in the mortgage industry. They just don't. Mark and Julie Pulte are the father and stepmother of Bill Pulte. Local tax officials in both states told Reuters that claiming more than one home as a primary residence isn't generally allowed in their jurisdictions. And after Reuters contacted tax officials in Bloomfield Township, Michigan, to inquire about the dual claims, Darren Kratz, director of assessing, on Thursday said the township, as of today, would revoke the exemption on the Pulte's residence there. So when we're looking at, when we talk about this subject for owner occupancy, it benefits you because you get to put down less money, you get a lower interest rate. This is why people generally do it. But I found this interesting. They paid cash for these properties. Both properties were bought for cash. So the benefit for doing this kind of thing generally is lower down payment and lower interest rates. But let's take a look at this. On properties like those owned by the Pultes, the exemptions, the homestead exemption, can add up to thousands of dollars in savings each year. On the Florida home in Boca Raton, the exemption saved the Pultes an estimated $158,000 in taxes. That is a pretty property. The Pultes bought the Boca house for $4.25 million and transferred the sale to a legal entity owned by the Pultes. The Michigan property, much more modest, listed as 4-bedroom home, was sawn and purchased for nearly $1 million in 2020. All right. So the benefit to them is tax breaks on the property. That's why you would do such a thing. So point being, if we're really going to get in and check occupancy, we are going to find a ton of stuff. I'm not pointing fingers. I'm saying the point of this video is to say, look out. You want to point? This is a circular firing squad. This could be your relatives. This could be my relatives. One time I filed a lawsuit in Los Angeles alleging occupancy misrepresentation. And the point I want to make here is that the public doesn't take this nearly as seriously as we do. I filed this complaint. The borrower did not answer. So under the law, I'm entitled to get a default judgment. I took my complaint in to see the judge, went into his chambers. The judge, necessary for the story, is Japanese American. I handed him the complaint and I let him read what I was saying these borrowers did, occupancy misrepresentation being one of the things. He read the complaint and he put the papers down on his desk and he said, "Mr. Simpson, do you know that in the 1940s, my grandfather had to buy property using a white friend to act as the buyer because Japanese Americans couldn't buy property in the 40s. He signed my judgment and he sent me out of his chambers. I prevailed. I got what I wanted, but the message was absolutely clear. Don't bring this weak stuff into this court. This is not real fraud in the real world." I never forgot that lesson. So we view things differently in the mortgage world than the public does. And my point in this video today is look out. If we're really going to start trying to find all the people that misrep occupancy, that truly is an equal opportunity offender. And we're going to find people of every stripe having committed this misrepresentation. Now, what do you do with it? Does somebody have to file a suspicious activity report on Bill Pulte's parents? Is this where we're going with this? We just need to be careful.